Making smooth round balls right now on Pirate Firearms and Reloading. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. So, looking at the tumbler, you may have thought we're going to talk about wet tumbling. Not the case. We are going to talk about tumbling round balls. So, in some level of irony, this is not a Manscaped ad, and we're not talking that sort of smooth balls. We're talking round balls and buckshot today. So, I've got quite a few of these Lee molds here. This happens to be my double-aught buck mold. So it's an 18 cavity, that's a commercial mold technically. I have got a 690, that's also for 12 gauge shotgun. And for my muzzleloader, I don't tend to use the 445 as much now, I use the 440s, but nonetheless, they are lead round. And so one of the things with casting, the individual balls, like they will have a sprue mark when they are cast and come out. If you don't know what a sprue mark is, essentially what you do with one of these molds is you have a plate on the top here, and I do leave my molds full of lead so they don't oxidize, do anything crazy. So when you pour it, the lead sticks out the top. There's a little hole in the sprue plate, and you take a molding mallet just when that glaze is over and you tap it, this sprue breaks off. You get a round ball, but you get a little flat spot on the top of it. Now, that's not the end of the world in a lot of people's opinion. What you can do if you're, say, shooting a muzzle loader is you can make sure that sprue is always facing forward when you start it into the rifle. And in theory, the jag or your short starter, the end of that will compress that sprue and kind of make it round anyway. There is another way to do it, particularly when you come to something like buckshot here. Now, the thing with this buckshot mold is it is an 18 cavity mold, but they come in strings of 3. So there's 3 cavities stacked on top of each other and then 6 along the mold piece. The problem with that is, you do have to cut them apart. You can actually shoot them still stuck together. They will come apart in flight. But if you're doing what I do, which is a buck and ball load, I shoot one of these 69 caliber round balls, and below that in the wad is 3 double-aught buck. That load goes way back to the American Revolution with smoothbore muskets and that. A lot of the times they would shoot a buck and ball load, particularly good if you happen to not like a person that's riding a horse, because they're moving relatively fast. You may miss them with the intended large round ball, but you have some buckshot behind it just in case to either clip the horse and give you a chance to do something else. But once again, you end up with a lot of sprue on these buckshot molds. Now, you could just not care and load them, and don't get me wrong, I've done that. They shoot okay. Every so often you get one little bit of buckshot that just goes way off to the side. And I'm shooting a good wad, and you know, that's happened in multiple shotguns, not even just my own, but in a few buddies' shotguns as well. So what I've been doing recently is actually tumbling the round ball. I probably wouldn't ever bother to tumble like a conical bullet. You may actually end up deforming that in a negative way. Whereas a round ball, when you tumble them, they will actually stay round. So we're going to talk just very, very quickly about the tumbler I've got. So this one can do up to 2.5 pounds, which is why I've chosen this model over some of the others. Some of them are only designed to do 1 pound. So these things are available on Amazon, and they are actually designed to tumble rocks. You can polish, jagged rocks into nice little gemstone. It's got, couple of 9-day timer, 3 different speeds. Half the stuff I don't need. It actually comes with a bunch of rocks and grit and all that stuff. So if somebody else in the family was thinking about giving this a go, probably worthwhile. You probably don't want to use the lead contaminated drum after you've done this, so maybe give that a go first. Bare drums available. I'm also thinking about picking up another drum and wet tumbling my black powder metallic cartridge cases when they've been shot, but that's a whole nother story. So when you buy like over-the-counter round balls like these Hornady ones for muzzle loaders, they actually are swaged, and what that essentially means is instead of seeing shiny lead, for example, like you'd see in an ingot, your round balls will come out looking like that too. When you buy them professionally, they come looking like this, and they have little dimples on them, and it has a darker coloring to it. The darker coloring is usually graphite, and that's to help with lubrication, and it also means you're technically not in direct contact with the lead. I'd still be washing my hands after doing this, but that's the end product, right? And there is no sprue on those. So that's kind of what we're trying to achieve here today by tumbling them. So we'll go ahead and crack open this tumbler. They've got a nice wing nut. Put your fingernails under the top disc. I like to spin the wing nut back on, give myself a little bit of a handle, because this is designed to be watertight. Now you'll see a shiny sort of glaze on that rubber. That is mostly graphite, and to show you that, if we give it a quick wipe, see it's graphite. There will be lead mixed into here as well, so definitely wash your hands afterward. In my case, because there's graphite and lead, I'm going to put a nitrile glove on, and I'm going to show you what's going on. So I've done both the buckshot and the round balls in here, and the buckshot has probably been on for about 10 hours, and then I added the round balls after. What I've learned now is that having the two different sizes in there actually helps this process go a whole lot quicker. And now what we're looking at is a nice, it's pretty hard to see with black gloves on, but a nice clean round ball. Now if I look at this closely, I cannot even see the sprue. Okay, so it has really done a good job. Now there will be a little bit of graphite on these as well, but I'm not particularly worried, and that's ready to go and to be loaded into a shotgun shell. If you had a 69 caliber muzzleloader too, you could do the same thing. So this is one of the buckshot, and as you can see, nice and smooth. That's where the sprue was. Yeah, that's a really nice one. So that's come out nice and smooth and round, and it won't do anything weird. So it looks a lot like commercial buckshot. And I mean, you can buy buckshot, just loose buckshot. You can obviously buy your bird shot. I mean, you can just go over the counter and buy completed ammunition if you really want. I don't know if anybody actually still makes a commercial buck and ball load. I guess in some countries it may be available and some it's not. I choose to, reload it, and it's a really cool load. It certainly puts a smile on people's faces when they fire it. They go, "Whoa, what was that?" And they see nice big holes in a paper target. It does a really neat job. So that's how I get the round balls nice and smooth and back looking professional quality. Now just back to the tumbler really quick. Apologize for the noise that's about to happen. You may have noticed on the inside of that tumbler before I started, it does actually have flat spot. A lot of the tumbler barrels are completely round on the inside. I don't know if that makes a substantial difference. I believe those flat sides would help the balls bounce more and do a better job at swaging out the sprue mark. So this particular one, it has 3 speeds. So that's 1, 2, and 3. As you can see, it really gets going. If you wanted to do a quick job, I'm sure 3 would certainly help the process along. I chose to do speed 1, and yeah, so probably 10 hours with the buck, and then 6 hours with the big 69 caliber round balls in there. The next time I do it, I'm probably just going to put them all in to start with. So that's ready for me now to load up a box of buck and ball ammo. Just be careful with lead dust, things like that. Just follow all your standard lead practices and be safe about it. I'm sure the graphite is helping, minimize your contact with the actual lead, but still don't go eating food and playing with these at the same time. Not recommended at all. So if you have any questions about that, or if you'd like to see some molding going on with any of these molds, I do have quite a few conical molds as well for various things. So more than happy to go through that if you guys are interested. Yeah, any questions, hit me up in the comments down below. Head over to Amazon if you want a tumbler like this. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, happy shooting.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments below. Catch you next time.